So we're sitting at the table, we're starting morning time or whatever, and I'm smiling at them, you know, smiling through all of it, smiling so that I love to be with them. I love homeschooling them. And it's a gift from God that I get to do it, you know? And also, I feel like that smile signals like the thankfulness, like
Yeah.
it's a physical reminder to be thankful and thank God. It's like a domino effect.
Welcome to the Simplified Organization Podcast, 15-minute conversations with real moms about managing our homes and family life cheerfully to the glory of God. We can actually enjoy housework and homeschooling when we focus on truth and work with gratitude. I'm Mystie Winckler, homeschool mom of 5 with 2 graduates now, and author of the Convivial Homeschool Gospel Encouragement for Keeping Your Sanity while living and learning alongside your kids. I write and podcast at Simply Convivial about homemaking, homeschooling, and doing life cheerfully. I also run Convivial Circle, a community helping women to excel at homemaking and do life cheerfully. And today I'm joined by one of our members inside Convivial Circle, Rena. Rena joined Convivial Circle back when she was pregnant with her now 4-year-old. Organizing her attitude helped her keep smiling, keep up home routines, and keep homeschooling through pregnancy, baby, and COVID. She lives in Oklahoma with her husband, Eric, 4 wonderful children, ages 14 to 4 years old, and several chickens. Thank you for joining me today, Rena.
Thanks for having me, Misty. I'm so happy to be here.
So we do have a course inside Convivial Circle called Art of Homemaking. There used to be 2. It was Art of Homeschooling and then Work of Homeschooling. And since the time that you last worked through it, where they were 2 separate ones, they're now merged together so that the theoretical and thinking through the big picture pieces are matched up with the nitty-gritty daily details. But you have mentioned before that just that first module, which is the direction module, has practical pieces that are still bearing fruit even 4 years after working through it. And
Mhm.
so I would just love to hear more about the pieces that have stuck for you and how you've iterated them over the years and why you think they've really helped you in your homeschooling.
Well, like you said, in the direction module, it starts with setting the direction and thinking through why we're doing what the end goal is, those little moments and those little days that add up to what the end vision is for the glory of God. And so I was thinking back, I was going through it. When I was first considering homeschooling, I got together for coffee with a veteran mom. And I said, okay, tell me everything about how you homeschool. She had 6 children. And what are your goals? What do you want by the end of their time with you? And she said, I want my children to be able to run a home top to bottom.
Mhm.
And she didn't mention math or spelling. I was like, wait, tell me how to do the nitty gritty. But I love that that was her vision because the math and the spelling fall under that umbrella, when we're creating running a Christian home for the glory of God. Those things kind of fall in, when that is one of the end goals. So I love the direction piece. And I started out with my alignment card. I had some mottos on there. I had some scripture on there. I would flip it to my clipboard and I would read through it every day. Just, I'd start with, sitting like this is my mom zone right here. I'd have my water and my clipboard and my alignment card and my time budget and little post-it notes that had other little things on them and my daily card and such. And just having that kind of set the tone that it's time to begin really was transformative. So working through that, knowing that I have that big end vision, but then when I'm at the table with the kids, it's not just lofty, theory. Like it's like time to start, and we're going to do this little bit by little bit. And so I made my new little card for direction and preparation. So I have a little reminder that I need to have my water next to me. I have always, for the past few years, and I think it's because I had a baby and a toddler, but my signal that it's time to like start and launch was coffee. You know, you start the coffee, the smell gets you going and stuff. But now that I'm thinking through it, I have a different season, which is beautiful. Now I have a freshman in high school and a preschooler. So I thought, I don't have to have the coffee anymore like I used to. I could pick something else to watch. So I might change my little signal this year. Try one new thing. Because I've done this for it's been a few years now, and I've just kind of kept it the same. And then I have my alignment card on my clipboard. I was telling you earlier, when I went through the modules the first time, I had no homeschool checklist. And I tried to keep it all like in my brain
Yeah.
or on like little post-it notes to remind myself. And I thought, I don't know that I resisted the checklist, but I just never thought to do it. So when that was part of the thing, check the checklist, it was like, oh wow, now my children have more ownership and I'm just checking in with them. So this is how it transformed our day. So just practicality. I'd have start with my mom's zone. I'd have everything ready. My heart would be ready. I would have maybe done some of the things that we practice, like in humble habits, like my first thought and my prayer time already. And then the children have the stuff in the right place. We're not scrambling because I had been taught to prepare for that. Again, like I just that common sense, but I wasn't always prepared the night before or the week before. So knowing that the pencils are in the basket or the morning time binders are pulled out because now it's time, or we need to have the speaker and the phone charged so we can play our hymns, or whatever it is, was we got so much more done. And that's not the point, but it is the point. You do want to get more done, but like more done with joy, more done with less scrambling and frustration, smoother time together. And then when we would start their independent time, they had the checklist. And so after they worked through their checklist, we'll do what we call MomCon because we're Comic Con people. So it's MomCon, Mom Conference.
Love it.
They would they'd come and I'd say, bring your checklist. And I'd look and we can visually see, like, okay, maybe you have a narration that I want to hear, or like, show me your spelling, like bring it over. Let me check in with you real quick. And so that would be daily. And even, even sometimes daily, if I didn't get to the checklist, the weekly review piece at the end. So we go through our days and then Friday afternoon before dinner, we're e-hopping all of our stuff. We're making sure that like the stuff that's on your shelf is really your stuff. I don't We have this problem in our house where sometimes the stuff on the shelf is not really our stuff. So that end of the week e-hop and then pulling everyone to the table and saying, okay, let's really look at the checklist together. What did we really accomplish? And this was very helpful too. There would be things on the checklist that we routinely did not get to. So then it's like, okay, why? Is it a child heart issue, organization issue? Is it too hard? Or I'm going to confess 9 times out of 10, when we weren't getting to it, it was a mama preparation issue.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I have to look. I really need that thing on the checklist if we're not at it, like, if we're not getting to it, or is it something that I need to repent, spend a little time brain dumping and in prayer and think, okay, how can I you know, rework this so we're actually accomplishing it? So anyway, we went from that, what I just described, we went from like frazzle and, to like what I just described. And it was like, I think this is what homeschooling's supposed to be like. It was really special. So I have loved this course. It's very dear to my heart. And like I said, I've run those systems for a long time now and they're working great. And what's even better is that I know that like even with the coffee, because I've done them for so long, I can iterate and try something new. And if it doesn't work, just pull it out, put the thing I know works right back in. So yeah.
That's just so great. Yeah. It's a big part of it is just being aware of the plan, you know,
Yeah.
having the things in place and then having the kids be aware, but then checking back in. So
Yes.
that's just huge. And it's so easy to think that if we get the plan figured out just right, it will magically happen. But
Yes.
it is just paying attention to all the little things continually.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Where the rubber meets the road and we're really doing it on a real Tuesday. What what actually happened, you know? But I think having that preparation, working through it where we're doing the checklist and we're checking back in with mom conferences and later through the week, looking through that too, we can see like where do we need to slow down? Or maybe my expectations were too high. Like when I had the baby, and it was COVID time, you know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
just had to like shorten the checklist or, delete some of those and reprint a new one. Or as things we were able to take on more, type it in and then reprint a new one. So I love that. I also love the preparation. I noticed this in the new Art of Homeschooling was the preparation piece where there were questions about what do you need for each chunk. That has been a weak spot of mine in the past too, where we bring the stuff when we do the chunk, but then you lose momentum, especially when you have littles and it's like, okay, everybody, it's morning time, but mama's still gathering the pieces and the children are off. They're gone, So just having those kind of questions and that helped me even now, just, 4 years later where I'm rethinking about that. And I've got different chunks now. I
Right.
have high school students. So that chunk where I'm making myself kind of available to him by appointment, it's like, well, I need to have like my teacher guides at the ready because he might need to come to me and I need to like check an answer or something like that. So going through it again and thinking through some of those chunks, it looks a little different. Even if I think I'm, you know, pretty organized, it looks a little different now. So this has been good. We haven't started our school year yet. And we'll start August 5th, but we have started. I did create a new time budget and we've started iterating like we're still swimming and doing things, but like on the days we're home, like let's practice what it would feel like, so we get
Mhm.
that muscle memory of like, what would it be like to wake up at 8? You know,
Yeah.
what would it like to wake up at 8 and then hop into morning time? Can we do it? Or is that too high of an expectation? Or do we just need to like stretch ourselves and work harder on that? So iterating those things before we hit the ground running August 5th.
Oh, that's such a good tip because I know one of the biggest mistakes I made the first few years of, when we were homeschooling multiple children, fully in
Mhm.
a couple grades, then I would just like, okay, this is the day we start school and we're just going to go from 0 to 60 from like summertime to let's do everything. And
Yeah.
it never worked well.
It just I know, surprise, it just doesn't. So that I will say is new this year. So this is hot off the press. Feel like it's been very helpful the past 2 weeks. I made that time budget 2 weeks ago, and just that realization where it's like, how we really can't go from waking up at 10 and, like, lounging for 45 minutes to hop to it at 8.
Yeah.
So it's helping me reset my expectations too. And also, I'm struggling getting up with everybody. I'm like, we're like, mom has to set the tone. So it's like, all right, sister, where's your water? Where's your coffee? Where's your clipboard? Get it started. So, and just practicing having those things with me too. But yeah.
Yeah. That's a great tip. Yeah, I think, we're doing homeschool planning and thinking about things and setting things up for the
Mhm,
summer. So it doesn't
mhm,
feel like that, it's a lot, but we've been thinking about it and
mhm.
visualizing it for a while. But then we just throw it all on the kids. Like they wake up and it's like, and your life is completely different.
No,
Get with the
and
program.
why are you still sleepy? So that has been so, so, so good. And yeah, I cannot another and I know I've touched on it, but another element that I have just loved is the alignment card. I love the alignment card for all of the modules. I think you have those in pretty much every module, but that has been so good, especially for homeschool to, because I'm sleepy. I'm a human being
Yep.
and, I'm sleepy in the morning too. And so it is really hard to just hop to the self discipline when you're groggy and you're, especially if you've got littles and like people were in the bed snuggling with you in the morning or something. And having that card right there in my face where it's like, oh, wait, what do? We do the next right thing. Joy is the serious business of heaven. I better start smiling. I love that that was on and maybe it's still there on the original one.
Yes.
Smile. It's, yeah, that has been big where we sit down. The cue was when we sit at the table, looking them in the eye and smiling, and remembering that I love them because, you're groggy or maybe you're going through hard things. I feel like, when we plan the homeschool, we don't plan for disaster to strike. We don't plan for like this year we may be moving. So I was thinking about that this week. It's been kind of a challenging personal week where I'm like, oh goodness, we might be moving. My husband might be starting a new job, but I've got to smile at my kids. So we're sitting at the table, we're starting morning time or whatever, and I'm smiling at them, you know, smiling through all of it, smiling through the hard times, smiling when it's a happy time, smiling so that then, I love to be with them and I love homeschooling them. And it's a gift from God that I get to do it, you know? And also I feel like that smile signals like the thankfulness, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's a physical reminder to be thankful and thank God. It's like it's a domino effect. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. It's a physical reminder of gratitude. I think
Mm,
very
mm,
true.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Rena. You shared a lot of helpful tips and ideas for many of us starting our school year pretty soon. So thank you. I'm so glad that those
Well, thank
have
you.
stuck and are helpful.
Thank you so much, Misty. It was so good to chat with you.
There are a few key habits that, if we put them in place as homeschool moms, we can get so much more done without feeling scattered and overwhelmed. Rena has shared those today and how they have worked for her. And you too can take these kind of habits and make them fit your own situation, your own life by working through the Art of Homeschooling course. We're about to start working through this live as a community on October 30th. Actually, we have a kickoff workshop on Wednesday, August 28th, to help us really jump in with energy, direction, and purpose for our homeschool. We'll be giving each other accountability, motivation, cheerleading, and also a kick in the pants if needed for 6 weeks so we can practice being effective and wise homeschool moms, putting our time where it truly matters with our kids. We would love to have you join us. You can find a link in the description of this episode or go to convivialcircle.com and join today. Together in our homeschools, we will repent, rejoice, repeat.